assessment of Trey Lance, just how he did from start to finish today?
I thought he did some really good things. Definitely wasn't perfect, which no one ever has been. That first pick, I thought just sailed on him. He was going to the right spot, but just got away from him on that first drive. I thought, overall, I think if we could have done a little bit better around him, I thought he did good enough to win.
How aggressive on fourth down today? On that 4th and 4 towards the end there, how much consideration do you give to punting there? What went into that decision?
Not much. I know our defense had just gotten a turnover. I thought it was our chance to take that game right there. And we got in a situation where I felt pretty strong about what they were going to do. Really felt good about the play call, felt good about the guys. Just ended up not getting, I think, got tipped on the play, but it's unfortunate.
On the 4th and 2, where Kyle used to carry the ball, did you think it was closer, or was that the right call for the 2 yards?
No, there was a couple options on that play, and we didn't end up doing the one we preferred.
And then on the goal line in the first half, was that you just wanted to go for it right there? I mean, or did they have anything to do with the field goal?
No, we were just on the 1 yard line. We had, I think we had gone about, over 90-yard drive. If that was important, we scored right there, and we felt good about the play. Thought we would score. They ended up making a good play and keeping us out of there.
Was that a pass play?
Yeah, it was.
It's supposed to go to control.
There's lots of options on it. Yeah.
Going back to Trey, going into the game, other than bringing you a win, what was the one thing that you hope to see from him today? Did you?
I'll see when I look on the tape, but I didn't really have just one thing. I wanted him to go out there and play like he's been doing in practice and be comfortable around the offense, and especially in a tough environment like that, one that he hasn't ever been in before. And for the most part, I thought he did it.
You said on Friday that Jimmy's your starter. If he were 100%, he'd be playing. Do you go into the bye week now? Do you now consider what you want to do at quarterback?
No, nothing's changed. It was just one game. It was a tough loss right there, and we're going to talk to our whole team tomorrow and think of how we can get our whole team better coming back from the bye.
Trey had probably 5 or 6 passes back. Was there anything you could see there? I know Watt does that a lot anyway, but
We'll watch on the tape, but they had some guys inside who did a good job getting their hands up. It was tough. They got a number of bad passes, especially in some key situations, which made it tough.
When the defense comes up with so many big stops like that, how frustrating is it that the offense can't get any points?
No, it's real tough. I thought that was a game that, I don't want to take anything away from them. They ended up getting it done and winning the game. But I thought there were plenty of opportunities for us to do that, especially when we got that turnover there at the end. And that's where we had to change it. Could have been a lot closer if we executed on some of those 4th downs earlier. But I still thought overall they did enough to give us a chance, and we had that opportunity right in our hands, and we didn't get it done. That's what we got to live with.
With the holding penalties, is that part of a byproduct of having a quarterback who's going to be in the pocket maybe a little long, not as much of a quick trigger as Jimmy?
I think one of them was. I think what's always tough for the guys when they're expecting the guy in the pocket and he breaks out of the pocket, sometimes it's hard to let go of the guys right away because you don't know where he is, which I didn't see anything exactly with the holdings, but it seemed like that happened to Trent on one of them against Chandler. But there was a couple on some running plays too, and we had way too many. It's tough to know when you have all those.
Kyle, what's this 3-game stretch been like for you? These are 3 good teams you played, 3 games you could have easily have won. What's the frustration level? What's your job as the head coach to keep things going in a positive direction?
We got to play better football to win those games, and we've lost 3 in a row. I think there were 3 games that we could have won. They were good teams, but to take nothing away from those guys, they ended up getting the win. But I thought we had every opportunity to win those 3 games, and that's more about us than anyone else. And with those penalties and some crucial situations, not being able to convert on some third and fourth downs, and having the turnovers, not getting enough turnovers, those things make it harder to win. And we got to find a way to do better. And I got to find a way to get us to do better. Going into this bye week, 2 and 3, still a lot of football left to play. But we got to come back and we got to play better than we have.
Along those lines, how much time during the bye week do you spend self-scouting and trying to figure out how you can do better and put the team in position to win those games?
We always do that stuff. You spend a lot of the time doing it. I'm more into, finding out a way to get less penalties, finding out a way to execute in some of those crucial situations, and then hopefully we'll get some guys back here too.
Has not having a traditional 3rd down back hurt you guys in part of that is, when do you think Jermichael Hasty will be back?
I think he's got a chance to start practice in the Indy week when we get back. He's going to be coming off a high ankle sprain, though. You have no idea how that's going to react. I mean, anytime you're missing, when you're missing guys who you're counting on to be at certain positions, starting with Raheem and Hasty, that is tough. But I thought Juice has done a hell of a job stepping it up for us in that role. But that's not the role that he starts out playing throughout the year.
Speaking of Kyle, was there the thought that you guys had just put that play with Juszczyk on film not too long ago to come back with it so quickly?
Yeah, there's lots of things that go into it. It didn't work out the way we wanted to. But yes, there's some things that we messed up on the play, and I'll leave it at that.
The offense has really struggled in the first half the past few weeks. What needs to improve other than execution?
That's a very broad question. You got to do better in all situations. Third down, fourth down, whatever it is. I mean, we got to score on fourth and goal from the one, or third and goal from the one. So there's too many things to get into that as simple as you like.
Trey carried the ball for 16 times. Is that kind of where you would want him to be, or are there times where you would have preferred him to throw away the ball or throw the ball away? Or
I mean, no, I don't look at numbers like that. I'll look at those 16 and evaluate those and how many were called, how many are off schedule, and need to go through each one of those plays. But just look at the stat sheet after and say that's too many or too little.
Kyle, obviously he's not sliding on most of those 16 runs, which is understandable given the way those runs were, but is that like sustainable for him to play like that and avoid injury?
No, I mean, you always got to protect yourself as a quarterback. I mean, sometimes it's easier than others. I think he'll get better with that as he goes. I saw him do it a few times. I don't know whether it's a slide or not. It's just trying to get down and not get hit by pursuit. But that stuff you never just watch a play and ignore that. You talk about all the ways he can protect himself, what the situations are, and that stuff he'll get. Thought he did a decent job today, but that's stuff I think he'll get better at with experience.
Kyle, did you guys discover something worse with Kittle in terms of his injury that led him to injury reserve?
Yeah, it just got a lot worse. On those, you can't really. There wasn't an exact diagnosis on it, so we were expecting it to heal. Some of the results that the guys have told us, and the last couple of days, it got so much worse that we started to look at it a different way, and that's why we had to shut him down.
Does Jimmy Garoppolo look on track to play after the bye, or is it too soon to say?
He looked. The fact that he had a chance this week, that gives me a lot of hope coming back. I think anytime you're dealing with casts and things like that, you never know exactly how they're going to react. I think that was similar to what Kittle. I thought that he was going to be all right a couple weeks ago, and now we're going on IR. So I don't want to speak too soon, but hopefully.
It
Now,
does.
there was it's been asked, got a little late, but there was a national report before the game saying that it didn't matter how Trey played, Jimmy was going to be the starter. Is that accurate?
No. I feel like they'd have to talk to me or John, and I don't talk to many people. So, especially the night before a game, just my family.
So if he'd thrown for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, it could have been a conversation.
I mean, you guys are throwing out a lot of hypotheticals, especially to someone who made something up. So, not you, whoever you got there.
Take two more.
How did you feel about the defense, especially post-drive one, when they seemed to really slow Kyler Murray down?
Just the fact, going against that offense, those players, that quarterback, holding them to 17 points, I was very proud of those guys. Especially getting that turnover there at the end. That was probably one of the most disappointing parts of the season when they got that, and what we did on the next 4 plays.
Travis Benjamin went from practice squad to having a big role early on in the game. Why the decision to kind of give him that chance?
He's doing a real good job in practice, and thought it was important for us to get a little bit more speed out there, and that's what Travis majors on.
Was that
Last
due
one,
to
guys.
his speed and Lance's arm? Was there
No, that was going to happen regardless.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.